Glenn Vitale here at Daytona. We're here today testing a new KPM fuel pump assembly in our white HPDE 2024 Mustang, as we affectionately like to call White Stallion. So as many of you Mustang owners know out there, with 2015 and newer Mustangs, and you go to a lot of track days, you probably are aware of the fuel starvation you might find when you get to about a half a tank of fuel. The car starts running out of fuel even though you still have a half a tank of fuel. That's due to the saddle tank in these Mustangs.
So here we have the saddle tank actually out of our number 20 race car. Let's explain real quickly what's going on. This is the driver's side. You've got your pickup here, and this is your sending unit on this side. What that does is it helps send fuel over here. There's a tube inside that helps pick up some fuel. The problem is with the factory pump setup, you need to have a certain amount of fuel in the driver's side saddle in order for it to provide enough suction to pull fuel out of the passenger side. Now, this is great on 99.9% of Mustangs. They're street driven. The saddlebag offers great weight distribution from side to side for the fuel, so it's not just stuck on one side of the vehicle. The problem is when you go to Daytona and you're on that bank, you're talking about a 31-degree bank. Now this is the front of the car, this way. This is the driver's side, passenger side. So when Glenn has this car in the bank, you're looking at a 31-degree angle of the tank. Now you might say, oh, well, all the fuel, that's great. It's all gonna be here. The problem is the G's and the long sweeping turns. You're talking about over 30 seconds in one turn. So all that fuel that's here is now rushing up and all stuck on this side. It's gonna cause the factory pump to cavitate. When you get down to about 6 gallons, you'll feel the car blurp and sucked up air. That's what we're trying to avoid with this new KPM setup.
So some of the other changes we made here to White Stallion was the wheels. The S650 Mustang with the Performance Pack brakes usually require a 19-inch wheel setup. And that's great, but we wanted to get some weight off this car, so we wanted to go back to an 18-inch wheel. So what we did was we went back to the S550 performance brake option, which is still a Brembo 6-piston caliper, but it's a smaller package, allowing us to fit these 18-inch Apex EC7 wheels on the car. So that's something also we wanted to test here at Daytona was, is this brake setup going to work with the ABS module, the factory ABS module that we still have in this car? One of the other changes we made was to the rear of the car with this new Dark Horse R wing. We wanted to go something like this because this is what Ford tested on the Dark Horse, and we wanted something that would add more downforce but yet reduce the drag on the rear of the car, and that's why we did this. You'll notice today we don't have the wicker bill because we're here at Daytona, and we were also testing how it would run with or without the wicker bill and see which scenario would be better at a high-speed track like this where generally you want low drag. And one of the last changes we made, as you might have seen already online, is we added the Palm Beach dyno custom tune to this car. Ken over at Palm Beach Dyno removed the speed limiter for us, which is very important here at Daytona. As you'll see in the video, we were doing speeds in excess of 165 miles an hour. He also extended the rev limiter to 8,000 RPM. Another thing you'll see in the videos, we revving it all the way up to 8,000, which helps a lot in the driver side of things, navigating some of these corners and having to shift a lot less. So let's find out what these changes make here at Daytona. first test for the KVM fuel pump system. Did better than we've ever done before. Right now the fuel gauge reads 10% fuel left, and that's where we started to get the little bobble. So that tells us a lot right there. We never got it that low before, so I definitely say it's a success. Definitely a good system. Does what it's supposed to do. Previous systems we tried, we couldn't even get it to this, but we'll get a more accurate reading when we start dumping fuel and see exactly how many gallons it takes now, because the factory fuel gauge in the S650 isn't the most accurate. I'm willing to bet it's going to take probably at least 12, maybe 13 gallons. This is a 15.5 gallon tank.
Yeah.
What, before we couldn't get it past, I mean, we usually had 4 or 5 gallons left before it started bobbling like that. All right, we just got done with the first session here at Daytona International Speedway with our new KPM fuel pump system. I gotta say, it's definitely working as advertised. We're very pleased. We were able to run this car all the way down to 3 gallons of fuel. That was what was left in the tank before it started burbling on the NASCAR turns. So with this new fuel system, we were able to run the car almost empty before it started to burble. That is a huge success for the Mustang community. The guys at KPM did a great job with this system.
Now, that might seem like, oh wow, a lot's still left in the tank. That's 3 whole gallons. But it's really not. Not when you consider those long sweeping turns at Daytona. Now, if we're at Sebring and we're in turn 17, you're looking at like a 5, maybe 6 second turn. But when you're in a turn for over 30 seconds, that fuel is going to move a tremendous amount. So kudos to the guys at KPM. They really did their homework, and being able to run it down to 6 gallons versus now 3, that means less pit stops. That means more time out on the course, which, as you know, the least amount of pit stops you make, the better chance for success in getting into victory lane. And that's exactly what this system is going to help us accomplish.
So we just finished the third and last session for the day here at Daytona. The tire pressure change made a big difference. We only lowered it by 2 pounds on this last session. We wanted to look for a hot pressure of around 31, 32, and that's what we were getting. I think next time we come here, we might throw the wicker bill on the Dark Horse R wing here, give us a little bit more downforce. I was a bit concerned about how that was going to affect our top speed, but it's worth a try, I think. It might improve lap times a little bit. I didn't see what we turned this last session. I have a feeling it will be faster, but overall the car did great. One thing we did learn though is you cannot trust the fuel gauge in this car. When we went out for this last session, we didn't refill it. We based it off the fuel gauge that was showing 3/4 of a tank of fuel still left in it. We figured we were good. Well, we were wrong. We cut our session short by 1 lap because we started to run out of fuel, just like we did on the first session. Right there on NASCAR turns 1 and 2, it started to burble. So I brought her in, we just filled it up, we're going to fill it up, and it'll probably take, again, like the first session, about 12, 13 gallons of fuel, which is a lot of fuel at a 15.5 gallon fuel tank. That's pretty much all of it. So we're happy with the new fuel pump. They did a good job engineering it. I think it's going to do really good for the rest of the Mustang community. Stay tuned, we got more parts coming your way. Speed matters.